Destruction.
Honestly, fine. You guys are gonna get cancelled by the chat.
I like the part in A Very Small Wish where it goes I like that, okay? Here's himself, he loves listing his credentials.
Damn, y'all should actually know, Pat. You're a freshman to the show, so you should probably introduce yourself.
Well, here's me, regular Pat, worming his way into anything he can right now while the iron's hot. Let's see, I have a YouTube channel, regular Pat. I do a lot of, you know, crazy Kingdom Hearts theories, merge videos. Anytime there's merge, I do 10 minutes on that. Union Cross updates. Those are my big three, I would say. Right, guys?
Union Cross updates. I feel like some of these.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. If that wasn't clear, I don't do any of those things.
The one Union Cross update is it's over. It's dead.
It's dead. We killed it. No, I do like, you know, mainly KH1 stuff, but you know, anything Kingdom Hearts, I like to do deep divey ranking analysis sorts of things. So that's me. Keynote was kind enough to invite me on. Music background would be none. I have zero expertise or you know, knowledge in this field, so I'm kind of here as a balance.
Actually,
they're gonna tackle things
that's
you know, analytically, and I'm gonna look at things from a feeling perspective.
Pat, you're lying.
So.
You're a dirty liar because you have.
Don't say this.
You have
Please
a
don't.
banger track on your YouTube channel. Y'all should all look for the Ruins of Hollow Bastion.
Damn it.
It's actually the best thing ever.
You better do it now, because once I hit like 15k, I think I'm gonna delete it.
Oh shit, that's like dangerously close.
Do you have it downloaded, Keynote?
No, but I will definitely do it after this episode.
Note to Keynote, cut this part later. Anyway, David, why don't you introduce yourself?
I don't really know what the best word is, but I spend a lot of my time thinking about Kingdom Hearts music very deeply. Music researcher.
Disturbed, I think.
That's what I'll go with. Yes, disturbed person.
Could you please put that as a Skyrim? Disturbed person, David Russell.
I mean, honestly, I guess we're both in that boat then, because I wouldn't say, I don't know if I would call myself a researcher, but I definitely can't stop thinking about Kingdom Hearts music. And I also...
That's how you do it, baby.
I realized that I never introduced myself in these episodes, because I always forget, and I guess I just assume people would know who I am if they're on my channel. But, hey, since this is also going to be premiering in March Caprice, which is an event that, if you're watching this, then it's either already going to be over, or it's currently going to be happening, so, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Welcome from March 3rd.
Yeah, welcome from March 3rd. We're a few 20 days away.
What's the future like? Is everything okay?
I was gonna introduce myself and I completely forgot. Anyway, I'm Keynote. I also do Kingdom Hearts music things. I never actually put out content in my channel, but there sure are some few things, and I like analyzing and looking into things more deeply than I should.
Motifs.
Motifs, yeah. David's been trying to radicalize me to stop caring about motifs, or not stop caring, but
Oh, I have a whole thing about motifs and why I think it's like a just like level 1 of thinking about music, and like there's so much other stuff too. Like
David's on level 8.
Oh,
for those of you who don't know.
Musician analyzes music from 5 different levels. Jacob Collier style. No,
professional musician. Looks into
there's like
Kingdom
other
Hearts.
stuff too, like the instruments people use, and the structure of the arrangement, and like what is this song that's playing in the bot now? Gigabyte Mantis? Like the little like texture that shows up in like 8 different tracks of Sekito's in only DDD. It's like those kinds of weird things get into the composer's brain a little bit. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
that's it.
if there's one thing we like, it's theorizing about what goes on in a certain composer's brain at every single day.
We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Anyway, so this is a little bit different. As you, if anyone's watched the previous episodes, you will notice that I have a different little layout. But also, what we're gonna do today is pretty different. We're gonna be pretty much we're gonna be like pitting different tracks from the Kingdom Hearts series against each other, like to the death, and seeing who doesn't die at the end. That's basically it. It's gonna be like very brutal, very gory.
Oh, you should talk about the structure of it, like
Yeah.
how you
we
chose the
have the songs,
tracks.
Oh
yeah.
Why don't you talk about that? I don't know. Don't make me do all the work.
I'll do my diddly darn best. Okay, so let's see. We had all the tracks from the whole soundtrack organized into a chart, and then we split them off into the 3 different composers: the Shimomura tracks, which is like 400 of them, the Ishimoto tracks, and then the Sekito tracks, of which they each have like 26 or something. And then we randomized that, and then chose to give Sekito and Ishimoto like the best chance against, classic Shimomura pieces. I think pitted against normal Shimomura, where she would just win this whole thing, which is kind of uninteresting. But to give them the best chance, each of them have 10, and Shimomura has 9. I think that was it, or maybe it was 11 and 10. But
11 and 10,
it's very equal. And so. Okay. Then we randomize all those choices and put them into a bracket, and now it's just kind of like a competition of which track is better for what reason and which will win. And of those choices, maybe on the screen will be displayed all 32 of the tracks we'll be talking about.
We should also say that we try to have like a balance of the games represented, because Sekito and Ishimoto only worked on 3 of the mainline games.
BBS.
So we wanted to get we kind of rigged it a little bit, like we randomized all of them, but then once we had like a crap ton of Cage 2 tracks and nothing from Com or Days or Recoded, we kind of took out some of the less interesting Cage 2 ones and kind of randomized just the selection from Days or selection from Coded or Com. So we have a little bit of everything here, because Shimomura only she worked on certain games here. So we have a little sampling, a little smattering of everything from 2002 to 2019.
And remember that our opinions are the objective truth.
That's right.
They're irrefutable. So.
Absolute
Especially
truth.
mine, renowned music critic Pat.
Alright, I'm gonna warn both of you that my computer is already starting to X up, and so it starts tittering both of your audios sometimes. Just to fill the audience, and my computer fucking sucks, which is the only reason that we are doing this as a pre-recorded thing and not live stream. And even as a pre-recorded thing, it's already giving me issues. So if I might not, I might miss out on what you're saying at some points, but I will try not to interrupt. Without further ado, do you guys wanna get started?
Yeah, let's talk
we
about
also have to say that we all had one pick for each composer that we just forced into the bracket, right? We all had one wild card.
Do y'all remember yours?
So I know that I forced in A Very Small Wish, Black Powder, and Eternal Moments for each composer there.
Oh, right.
So I remember those ones.
Yeah.
God, I sure wish I remember. Did I pick Fresh Fruit Balls?
Probably, yeah. The only one I remember that I picked was Vector to the Heavens, and now that I look at it, I regret it, because I know I'm just gonna vote for it every time it shows up, unless it gets, deleted very early on. Well, which we'll see. I guess
talk about it.
I guess we'll see.
Let's just get into it, guys. Let's go to round 1 of the bracket.
Yeah.
All right, 0 Hour the Rescue versus Organization 13. Is that right?
Yes.
We all think.
Yes.
We all thinking.
Okay, sorry. On mine here, I put, obviously, Organization 13 because, well, I don't even know if I need to explain why. It's simply iconic. But, there's also the fact that, I don't know if I voted for it because I like it, or I just like what it represents and how it's utilized in, well, 1,000 fucking tracks. Because it's very versatile and, I guess a very good tool for the soundtrack in general. But yeah, I want to know what you guys did.
I mean, here's the thing, 0 Hour the Rescue, it's a newer track, right? So hearing that name, we should also maybe, I don't know if you have it on screen, but which composer is, associated with each track, but Organization 13, it's a Shimomura one. Zero Hour the Rescue is Sekiro, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I read the name, I don't hear anything, and that's probably just because it's newer. When I was listening to it for the podcast, I was like, well, this is, you know, probably by most accounts more sonically interesting than Organization 13, but like Keynote said, this is like a really iconic, useful track for the series. It's like the soundtrack to my days as like an angsty 6th grader. I remember like asking to go to the bathroom as a kid, like in class, and then like just like walking around the halls and just kind of like humming Organization 13 in my head. Like, man, middle school's so hard, but like Kingdom Hearts 2 is pretty rad. I have that. So yeah, I mean, I'm going with Organization 13, and like Zero Hour the Rescue, it's hype, you know? It's really cool. It's just not going to be something that iconic and that, you know, like Keynote said, useful to the series.
Oh, that is so interesting here. So I kind of went that same route, but like when I was thinking about the 2 tracks, I was like, which one do I like more for being a composition divorced of Kingdom Hearts relationships? So like I just listened to it as if it were like a radio song or whatever. And so I ended up choosing Zero Hour the Rescue because although Organization 13 is like, you know, the basis of Another Side and 13th Struggle, 13th Reflection, 13th Dilemma, all those tracks, like Pat said, there's more going on with Zero Hour the Rescue. It's like comparing like Dearly Beloved to like Bounce-A-Rama. Like how do you pick like such a powerful event theme versus like
something that's fun and interesting. Yeah.
So it's hard, but I don't know. I feel okay giving this one to Sekito. Shimamura has more.
While we're at it, we should mention the history behind Zero Hour the Rescue, because it's
it's imaginary range.
Yeah, it's a very interesting backstory. Basically, this is actually not composed for Kingdom Hearts. This song exists from a, what is it, 2013 or something? Like
2012 FF spin-off game.
Yeah,
it's like a
for the mobile game.
It's a bubble game.
Yeah.
And it's called Imaginary Range, and I think the composer is like Yasuharu something. But I think that they worked in tandem with Sekito. I don't actually know if Sekito composed this. He did for KH3, like he's credited for it, but it's interesting.
Well, it looks like we're shoehorning Organization 13 through. Moving on to the next round.
Organization.
Down 1 point for me.
Is the winner of this. Oh, I typed Organization 13. No, actually, it's right.
You'll find with all my stuff, like the up-tempo tracks will probably have a little bit of an edge over the moody tracks. So.
Oh yeah, speaking of,
no.
So
tell me what you think.
This next round, right? This is my pick, like my shoe-in pick. I forced it in versus Keynote's.
God
his
damn
wild
it.
card. So a Very Small Wish is potentially like my favorite. Like one, it's very hyperbolic to say like, oh, it's my favorite track, but like I don't really know what beats it. It's the Monstro Field theme from KH1. I think it's like the best field theme for sure. And let me get my notes here. I have 4 bullet points. I'm gonna wear my glasses just so I look smarter when I say it. It's simply the best. How can it be soothing but also hype? How does it do it? It is the best field theme and whale. Those are my 5 points.
I mean, you've got
so
me there.
You may now refute my argument. Listen, and you know, I'm kind of gonna backpedal on everything I said on that last round and kind of go with what David was saying, is that like, you know, I'm never gonna put on Vector to the Heavens to chill out. And epic never beats fun or whimsical for me, almost in any case. I would always rather pick like the more light track than the like really, again, maybe perhaps potentially more sonically complex and interesting song.
This is
my
very
point
funny.
for Vector to the Heavens is, yeah, I mean, it's good, but like Very Small Wish is like so good. So that's why I went with that one.
Okay,
because listen, I know the Keynote's gonna pick Vector
I mean,
to the Heavens
obviously,
because of some Shion bullshit, but like,
dude,
I need to vote for this. I know that it's probably
listen to
not
your
the better
heart.
song. I am. That's what I'm doing. That's what Kingdom Hearts is all about, baby boys.
okay, now it's.
I have to.
I'm gonna defend my honor, and I'm gonna geek out about Vector to the Heavens for 5 minutes now.
Do it.
So bear with me.
Sure.
Vector to the Heavens is the best fucking musical piece in the world. It's simply the thing that I love the most. I'm obsessed. I can't stop thinking about it. Every single moment of every single day, it's
Now-
me thinking about Vector to the Heavens.
what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the DS358 Days arrangement, or are you thinking about all the rearrangements done by the KH Orchestra and the piano collections?
Oh.
Because we're talking about the DS arrangement.
Oh, don't get me wrong, David. I know what you're getting at here. And yes, while I do appreciate the entire history of how this arrangement, of how this piece has been reinterpreted and presented in all these kind of things, in all these different kind of ways and different medias, it all started with the original, and it's what the original that I fell in love with, and I am still in love with to this very day. Simply a very, very precious piece to me. I do love A Very Small Wish, though. I will give you that. This is a like if it were pitted against almost any track, I would pick A Very Small Wish. But for some goddamn reason, the RNG decided to pit these two against each other. And I'm just gonna pick Vector to the Heavens in any case. There's no way around it.
What do you like about it so much?
Oh God, where do I
What's
start?
like the coolest thing?
I love how in the original version, the tempo kind of like slows down and speeds up a little bit in different sections. I love the God, I don't even know how to explain it. I love the chords. I love the melody. I love the way the different themes are used. Obviously, it's a very basic sort of way, but like the implementation of Shion's, Kairi's, and Dearly Beloved, like it's very obvious kind of things, but it's so satisfying the way it's implemented, in my opinion. The context of when it plays in the game, it's just everything it symbolizes, to me personally, makes it the most powerful and the most, I don't know, emotional song in the world. I don't really know like how to explain what I like about it musically. I just think it's neat,
Cool.
and I feel like that's kind of I don't know, it's shallow coming from someone who's supposed to be more of a
That's my
focused-
voice
Yeah.
right there.
You can like what you like is good. I mean, friggin' Vector is one of the best tracks in this series. I think that's like a clear thing. Like the other promise
set him
in
up
Vector.
to knock him down, David. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let me just
Join
do it real
me.
quick. To me,
God.
Shion's actual character theme, music pour la tristesse de Shion, is the superior version of that melody. But Vector is very musically impressive, and the piano arpeggiations are really, really cool and stuff. But I think for me,
I know. I
it
already
does
know what we're getting at here, and I hate it.
a little too much. It does a little too much.
Oh, you're saying
The
it's
piano-
extra? It's a little extra?
The piano is
Here we
doing
go.
too much of this 3-on-4 pattern, you know? The melody's going da 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 da.
That's what's
the
so
whole
cool
song
about the
until,
piano. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you, David.
Dude, no, listen, if it were against like The Other Promise versus Very Small Wish, The Other Promise hands down. But and if this were the KH Orchestra versus Very Small Wish, or like the piano collections, then Vector would win every day of the week.
Wow.
But
But it's
there's
not.
the
But it's not.
there's yeah,
not those
there's
things.
something. What have I written here? A Very Small Wish just scratches an itch that Vector just almost beats out, but doesn't. To me, it's a track that doesn't really get the love that it deserves. So I'm gonna vote for a Very
round
Small
one
Wish.
destruction.
Honestly, fine. You guys are gonna get canceled by the chat, and I'm not gonna be there to defend you.
Let's
So.
go. Let's go. That's fine.
Bring it on.
Listen,
Let's
I like
get
the
it.
part in A Very Small Wish where it goes. I like that. Okay, and you can't.
If
take
you
that
just
away from me.
divorce the track from like its like position in as like a pantheon in the community, as like this unshakable pillar of incredible compositional might, A Very Small
God.
Wish is just like one of the best field
Yeah,
themes
but
in
me and
the
David are
series.
here to knock down pillars. That's what we do. We see a pillar,
Listen,
we say,
you took
"Fuck that."
you
in
took
particular.
0 hour from me, so I'm gonna put
That's right.
Very Small Wish up there. This is fun.
Jesus, this is the worst. I hate this.
I'm glad we got this out of the way
Vector
early on.
didn't make it
man.
past round 1. I'm gonna kill
No,
myself.
'cause it's a bad song. It's a bad song. No, it's a great song.
No.
Listen, it's a very good song. I just like almost never want to listen to it. It's like a song that it's really good, and I just never want to listen.
God, I never get
freaking
tired
wanna
of
listen
it.
to it a lot. It's just I want to listen to Very Small Wish more.
Yeah, baby.
Man,
Let's move
KH1's
on.
field themes are
They're so good.
something.
They're so good.
Yeah. You guys you should be glad that we're already friends, because if this were like my first impression of you, I would just like not associate.
I'd never be invited back. Yeah.
Well, let's go to let's move on, shall we? Let's
see what else happens.
Let's forget about this entire
What other
incident.
upsets can we cause?
Right, so what's next?
Well,
Titanic Clash.
We got a Titanic Clash from Cage 3 by Ishimoto versus Merlin's Magical House from Cage 1 by Shimamura.
Damn.
Okay, so how can you vote for the Ishimoto track here?
Yeah.
Question. I think
Wow.
Titanic
You
Clash
went straight
is
to
just...
the point, did you?
Yeah, I think Titanic Clash is just loud for the sake of being loud. I want to look at my notes. Okay, no harmonies to speak of. It's all one drone A minor, I think it is. The instrument balance is all over the place. Choir is utterly meaningless in the context of the composition. The sampled violin is the final nail in the coffin. The Cage series has a higher standard than this. Destruction.
Jesus.
This is obviously this is Merlin's house.
Yeah. Not even like. I'm not even gonna focus on Titanic Clash here. I'm just gonna talk about how Merlin's Magical House is so cool and no one talks about it. Like, it's such a fun little upbeat track.
Perfect loop.
It's bouncy. It's cool. It fits the environment.
Dude, I've wanted to reorchestrate Merlin's house forever. Like, it's so good. It's so free. The harmonies are so cool too. Like, damn. Obsessed.
I love the little instruments. Anyway. I love it.
I went with Titanic Clash.
Fuck.
Because, and I know that's shocking, right? Because it's like, oh man, you picked that over the Cage 1 song. But like, alright, to play Ishimoto's advocate here, because he is the devil, so we might as well just cut to the chase there. Instead of saying devil's advocate, we'll just say the Ishimoto's advocate. You know, I felt more emotion when I heard Titanic Clash. And Merlin's Magical House is, you know, nice, and again, I'm kind of backpedaling on what we just said in this last round, but like, I don't know, it's a little too short for my liking. It, you know, it does loop very cleanly. I do agree there. And I think the choir and, you know, Ishimoto loves like the choir stuff. I think in Titanic Clash you can kind of hand wave it like as a like godly kind of thing. Like, I don't know, I think you kind of associate choirs with like religious, you know, godly types of influence there. I don't know, I was just really hyped when I first heard it. You know, it's like the early hours of Cage 3, because that plays during Rock Titan or the other Titans or something.
Yeah, it's the Titanic.
Yeah,
fight.
so I mean, as a boss theme, as one of the first that you get to hear in the game, it did stick with me. You know, I mean, I've heard Merlin's Magical House, you know, a million times throughout my life, so maybe I've kind of, you know, grown a bit weary of it. I know I can't do anything. You know, I'm not gonna like die on the hill for Titanic Clash. You know, I don't really give a shit. But you know, I did toss my vote that way, just so I didn't seem like a Cage 1 supremacist, which I am, but I'm not trying to like be obvious about it. So that's my pitch there. You know, I think it's one of the better tracks for Ishimoto on this list, but you might disagree with me there. I think it's one of the more memorable ones.
I mean, it's definitely more memorable than a lot of his other stuff. I just think it's kind of bland.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the loop kind of sucks. Anyway.
I'm not gonna complain. I thought I would be here, you know, agreeing. I thought you guys would be agreeing with me on this one, actually, saying, "Oh, this isn't too bad for his standards." But you know, I'm always happy to see Cage 1 progress further, and so you know, I'll stump for Merlin's Magical House in the next round.
Yeah. Are you sure about that? All right, let's.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
This is exciting. Okay, what's next? Unbreakable Chains versus Vector's Pride. Victor's Pride.
Vector's Pride, which has been crushed to dust.
Yeah.
But this is the Pride anthem for a man named Victor.
I was gonna say like this is fair for Ishimoto here. You know, Unbreakable Chains may be one of the best orchestral tracks he's made. I guess other than Enter the Void or whatever. But to me, Unbreakable Chains is like very sectionalized, such that like the different parts of the arrangement don't feel like they belong together. They feel like just different songs kind of mashed together, and I don't love that. It's got a nice groove though.
We should point out like when each of these songs played, because I know some of these are a bit more obscure.
Oh,
like, if I were listening and I hadn't been working on this project, I wouldn't know like what Victor's Pride is when it plays or even what game it's from. That's
a good idea. Maybe in the editing, one of us can add the music behind the background, so they'll know. But yeah, Unbreakable Chains is the what? Ven versus Vanitas final battle. Yeah, I just feel like it's overloaded with material that doesn't add, and it's just messy.
That's interesting because I wrote a similar thing about it being messy. But go ahead.
Shimura always does things where like every note like has a. It's very Edgar Allan Poe-ish, right? Every note has a purpose, you know. Everything is always doing something else. Like it's two different things. And then Ishimo is just like loud, 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 and I don't like it. Anyway, Victor's Pride. I'm going to get this wrong forever. Psychito track. What is this? This is when you win a Flick Rush match?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, basically.
We have a lot of Flick Rush in here, actually. There's a lot of Flick Rush stuff.
For some reason. Well,
Psychito just has a good grasp of harmony and instrumental balance. Love the key changes throughout, and that's just the thing with Psychito tracks is he just is great with harmony. I think he totally gets the Cage vibe. I said Unbreakable has a cool factor, but compared to the wealth of compositional ideas explored in Victor, I have to hand it to that one. So my vote is for Victor's Pride.
okay.
Real quick, I just want to piggyback off of what David was saying, because I find this interesting as someone who does not have, musical knowledge, but I had, like, the same kind of takeaways here. I wrote, very busy opening, this is noise. Like, when you play, like, the first, like, 10-15 seconds of Unbreakable Chains, it's like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Like, this
That's
is
just
loud.
the Vanitas
I remember
texture.
thinking, I felt like a grandma. I was like, turn down this loud music. It's simply too loud. This pulls from Enter the Void or the Darkness, or whatever. The Void is the vanilla Vanitas one, right?
No, it's Enter the Dark.
Void is Lingering Sentiment.
Okay, so, I mean, I'd rather just listen to Enter the Darkness. I mean, this is, like, very busy.
Yeah.
For a final boss, maybe it should be busy and loud, but, listening to it on its own outside of context. And I don't really want to pick either of these. Victor's Pride doesn't really do a ton for me, maybe because I've maybe heard it once in my life before because I was a big, Flick Rush guy. It's kind of short and forgettable, but, I'm willing to hear, if Keynote has a different opinion on this one, my vote can be swayed here. So let's give the floor to Keynote.
Okay, so actually, you guys are gonna be surprised. I actually picked Unbreakable Chains for this one, and for one reason, Victor's Pride kind of is very annoying. I don't know what it is about it, and also it doesn't really have it doesn't really have a melody. Like, what's the melody? I mean, it does, but like, do you care about it? Like a melody that only comes in like halfway through the track isn't a very engaging melody, I think. Like,
yeah, I guess that's fair.
And I don't know.
I think to me the sections are too much to deal with. Like, I wish it was all connected in Unbreakable Chains.
I mean,
Victor is like very uniform.
Don't get me wrong. I don't love Unbreakable Chain, but like at least I can tell what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. It does have that stupid long intro that I don't like. But I mean,
anybody else feel like it's like
too slow?
Like Unbreakable Chains is
yeah,
too slow.
Especially for like a final battle. But like, I don't know. After a while, we get used to it. I think it kind of works. Meanwhile, Victor's Pride, it's only gonna be playing it in a screen you're gonna be like mashing A to get through because you can't stand it anymore. You just want to move on.
Oh, no.
It's especially
annoying.
This is gonna be like specific to only to people who play a lot of Melody of Memory, but like when you're doing the versus mode in Melody of Memory, this is also the track that plays between matches, and you're stuck with it for like a full 2 minutes before the game actually lets you go to your next match, because it just makes you go through all these hoops of waiting and pressing this and accepting that and whatever. It's just, you get so sick of it. And basically, I don't like it.
Sounds like a you problem, dog.
It is.
Like a you problem.
It is, but it definitely affected how
God.
I feel about it. Anyway,
I mean,
Victor's
I'm the
Pride
kingmaker
wins
here
the
now.
match.
Who's gonna win this, Pat?
Listen, like, I guess when it comes down to it, I'm looking at both. Like, I have more negative to say about Unbreakable Chains, right? Like, the worst thing I can say about Victor's Pride is that it's, like, kind of forgettable. It doesn't really do a lot for me. But, like, I had, like, a visceral negative reaction for the first, like, couple, like, the first half or so of Unbreakable Chains. So it's, like, probably gonna go with Victor's Pride, even though I don't really remember how it goes off the top of my head.
Yeah. Like, can anyone remember how it goes? Because honestly,
No,
I can't.
I have no idea how it goes.
Yeah. I'll be honest and say, only upon listening to them back and forth did I make a choice here.
Yeah, this is one where I was like,
It is a mini game track, so like.
Yeah.
I mean, so
is
the little fucking chat, and that is a bop. And speaking of,
You're right.
yeah.
You know what? You're right.
Speaking of, now we have the little chef versus
Perfect
Black
transition.
Powder. Yeah.
Little Chef from KH3, which is the the cooking mini game with the rat, and Black Powder is
Lethal Boy.
Xehanort, right, in Birth by Sleep, and Little Chef is Sekido, and Black Powder is also Sekido.
Black Powder is what, for some reason, they used to replace Fate of the Unknown in game, like where Fate of the Unknown should have played. They just used Black Powder, and I will never forgive it for that. Also, it's not Sekito's fault, but like, why?
Yeah.
And also, like, Black Powder isn't the worst, but it's also not the best. And I don't know. I feel like it could have been a lot better. I don't know how else to explain it. I just think it's underwhelming.
What do you think, Pat? This is 2 Sekito tracks.
Yeah, I mean, Black Powder could definitely be better. Why is it called what it's called? Like, what is the powder?
I think it's a reference to Zigbar.
Zigbar?
What?
Black
Why?
Powder, gun.
Oh.
Gun.
Oh,
Maybe
like,
it does play in the first that first break
That's
fight.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty much diametrically opposed tracks in terms of how they sound. The Little Chef is very pleasant, kind of like Mario Animal Crossing sort of like mini game song. I don't know, but like again, as one that I've a song that I've known for 11 years versus one that I've known for 3 now, going on 3 or 2. When did KH3 come out? 2019. Yeah. So I mean, like, I have more of a emotional connection. I'm not emotional, like I just remember it more. I mean, Black Powder is kind of a a crucial song for Birth by Sleep. I think everything's building up to that one in a way. Not everything, but like certain characters' storylines. I mean, I'm gonna go with Black Powder. I feel like I can't go for Victor's Pride and then the Little Chef, but I feel like I know that. I think you guys are going for the rat, right?
We'll see. I'm
definitely going for the rat. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. I don't feel super strongly about it.
I'm going for a Little Chef too.
Fair
I think that Black Powder just like it's standard fare for Sekito, but like the instrumentation balance is weird. Like solo trumpet VST for the whole thing is like real. That's weird.
Yeah.
I get that's his thing. The key changes are cool. I don't know. It should have been Key of Darkness.
I like horns. That's what it is for me. I like horns.
That is fine. Little Chef though is a bop. Love it. There's so much potential in the track too. Like maybe I'm giving too much credit to these minigame tracks, but damn, I love Little Chef.
Honestly, Little Chef is like a very good example of like Sekito's range and like what kind of different things he can do for Kingdom Hearts. Because usually they're putting him to like, I guess maybe it's the direction. Yeah, but like not even just minigame stuff. Like you can make minigame stuff that sounds different from each other. A lot of Sekito's tracks have this very similar vibe, very similar instrumentation, a lot of brass, a lot of bombastic kind of triumphant sounding, and like the Little Chef does away with that. I don't think it uses brass at all. It instead uses that cool little, is it a harmonica, melodica? I don't remember, but like a very chill sound, little chimes, and it's cool because it's kind of repetitive, but also every time it repeats, it adds a new layer to the song, a new layer of instrumentation, and I think that's really cool.
It's so good.
It's very good.
Alright, looks like the rat wins the day in Kingdom Hearts once again.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
It's goddamn the rats.
We got our first and only calm track, Face It, which is a Shimomura track, and then Skyward Striker, which is from KH3, that's an Ishimoto track. For me, this is like a layup for Ishimoto, and it's like one of his rare opportunities where he has the win here. I mean, Face It is like, what is it, like 20 seconds total? How are you gonna pick Face It? It's like, it's 20 seconds, there's nothing going on. You can't really blame it because it was composed for the GBA, but it's like, even if it was a good track, which I think it's fine for what it does, it's like a tension.
It's literally just like a pre-battle, like the organization character shows up and says, "I'm gonna fight you," and then
it's an appetizer.
they go to fight.
But in the original GBA, it suffers from like massive overplay. Like they play it a lot in that game. I think they don't play it as often in Recom. It's like the Despacito of Kingdom Hearts, or like Closer by the Chainsmokers. It's like, please play anything else. So I mean, I don't even have any notes on Skyward Striker, but. It's obviously nothing against Shimomura there, but like I'm voting for that one over.
Yeah, it's the fuller track, in your opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
Curious what you're gonna say, Keenan.
in my opinion, your opinion sucks. Because
That's why I'm here, baby boy.
I am picking Face It for this one. Because honestly, Face It has the excuse of being composed for the GBA, but Skyward Striker fucking doesn't, and it does the exact same thing, where it's literally the same, like, 8 measures over and over again for, like, an entire minute, and then it does a new section, and then it repeats that for an entire minute, and it's so boring. The instrumentation sucks, the loop sucks, everything about it sucks. Face It...
Keynote, I don't know what measures are, okay? I don't know what a measure is.
What's
so, like...
It's basically like
It's
4
like a
seconds.
sentence, right? It's like a musical
Yeah,
sentence. Yeah.
basically.
So here's my defense. What I'm gonna say.
Oh
Face
my
It,
God.
although it's short, it is short, but there's so much potential in Face It because like everything just. I keep coming back to the concept of like balance. Like everything is where it needs to be, and although it's short and repetitive, but Skyward Striker actively damages when it's used in the game. It's actively negative. Like I muted the TV playing KH3 for the first time because it arrives the big climax, whatever, the stupid thing in the middle before it doesn't loop correctly is the least satisfying arrival. And here's what I've written. Here's the damning thing. In my opinion, this is the worst piece of music in the whole series due to the utter repetitiveness and complete lack of direction and aimlessness in the composition. I can't stand Skyward Striker. It's unbelievable that this was allowed to be published. So obviously to me, Face It is the winner.
Yes.
Don't play it. I hate this. I hate this.
Wait a second. You two are so blinded by hatred. Listen, I love Yoko Shimomura, alright? She's my mother, my aunt, my grandmother, whatever. Like, she's all
doesn't
those
damage
things.
the scenes
But, like,
with
she
yeah.
made Face It on the toilet, alright? Whatever she had back in
Probably
2003.
it was probably her whatever intern.
It probably was.
I'm not like
it's
loving
probably
it.
an intern
I'm
track.
just like it's
Listen,
it's bad.
it's literally like
if Face It played for King of Toys.
That's it.
I mean, it
That's
would
it.
have been better.
That's
You
it.
are so blinded by hatred.
No way.
I can't
This is
believe
so
this.
fun.
I really thought this was going to be an easy W for the poor man. But here I am putting Skyward Striker above this 12-second loop. Okay, cool.
Up next we have
Next one. 2 Ishimoto tracks.
Yeah.
Juggernauts.
Fantastic Fight versus
Absolute
Viren
heavyweight.
Rex. Oh boy, this is an interesting one. David, you wanna go off a little bit?
Not really, but I'll yeah.
Well, I have some notes here.
Oh,
I mean,
go please
let-
take
let's-
it back.
well, I mean, I think Flantastic Fight, it's pretty fun. There's something about it. Ishimoto is like, when I hear his name now, I just think of like San Francisco. He's like the San Francisco guy, because all of his
Yeah.
tracks kind of like remind me of like the
Same
it's
type.
later on in the bracket augmented rhythm, but like there's something like inherently San Francisco. Like I can only picture, when I hear the song, I can only picture the mini game where you're jumping on the flans in San Francisco, even though I think it plays during all of them. There's some kind of, maybe you can explain it to me, but there's something about what's happening in that track that's like very reminiscent of the San Francisco tracks. Verum Rex is, it's like, what, a minute, and it's got a choir for some reason. This is where I wrote, not everything needs a choir.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always have to have one. That's an example where I think, like, why are we having it here? So I mean, I went with Flantastic Fight, but I'm willing to have my mind changed. But I think Verum Rex is not the superior track in this case.
Oh, I think, well, I also picked Fantastic Fight, and honestly, I love this track. This is maybe the only Ishimoto track from KH3 that I actually, actively like. And it doesn't mean there aren't issues with it, it definitely does suffer a little bit from some of the same things that his other tracks suffer. But, it's funky, it's cool, it's bouncy,
Yeah.
and the instruments,
Yeah.
sound pretty okay. I can tell that he's using the same trumpet or whatever that's supposed to be as his other ones, and but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything works. And
Yeah. To me, I mean, I have exactly the same thing to say.
Yeah.
But keep going.
meanwhile, Verum Rex, what the fuck is this? First of all, for one of the coolest looking scenes in the entire game, and something that's foreshadowing the future of the series, you pick this fucking thing, and I get that that entire scene is supposed to be played off as a joke, as like a parody kind of thing, and at like the first time you see it. But going back to it, you're like, wow, they could have actually like done something cool here, considering the context. Yeah. But no, it's so weird, it's so bad, like nothing's happening. And like,
dude, there are gonna be comments that like people are gonna be defending the VRM Rex song, going like, "Oh, it's so Final Fantasy-ish." What do you have to say to that?
Whatever.
What do you have to say to that? You have been quiet.
What I'll say is that this all caps VRM Rex track is a parody of every Final Fantasy track with all the worst tropes in it. Stupid, meaningless choir that just like cinematically builds up to literally nothing. It keeps doing da 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 da. Like there's no melody. It just it grows to nothing. Meanwhile, the positives I have to say about the other fantastic fight is at least it's an inoffensive mix with a good beat, like a good rhythm. So, I mean, this one is like you can't pick anything else.
Ding ding ding.
Is this our first sweep of the bracket?
Fantastic.
We all agreed on.
Yeah, this is the first time we all agreed on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was an Ishimoto track, only because it was stuck with another Ishimoto track.
Yeah,
so.
to be fair. Oh, yeah, this one's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the Eye of Darkness.
Eye of Darkness.
Yeah.
Pirates Freedom. That's gonna be cool. What do you guys have to say about this one?
Not a whole lot.
Oh, who's playing this bot? Get this shit out of here. Someone played the VRM Rex track on the bot. No, we're skipping. Let's skip.
I mean, I think so Pirates Freedom. That's like the Caribbean. Is it the sailing song or just the like regular walking around field music?
It's the one where you're walking around, yeah, in Port Royal.
I mean, I think it's actually one of the better field themes in KH3? Question mark. I think it's fun. I think it's pleasant. I think Ishimoto needs a win that's not against himself. Eye of Darkness is fine. It's I don't really have any notes on that. I think it's obviously pulling from Destati, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
It's just like Destati Dive into the Heart, but with new percussion.
But like I've heard it so many times and used in so many different ways.
Right.
I think it's been done better by somebody here. So it's like I'd rather listen to the Pirates Freedom. I think.
Watch Pet say that Destati was done better in Dark Domination.
No, I'm saying it's been done better by like David Russell. Like I'd rather listen to like a David Russell rendition of it than like Eye of Darkness is fine. It's kind of vanilla, to be honest.
Yeah.
I agree.
It seems like a pretty simple rearrangement of
I agree. Actually, I don't really love the Eye of Darkness a lot, and at first I was thinking of like I was gonna vote for Pirates Freedom, but then I actually listened to them side by side, and then I was like, wow, I don't know why Pirates Freedom sounded so much better in my head than it sounds while I'm listening to it right now. I think maybe it's because of the instrumentation, honestly, because I like a lot of the ideas, and maybe I guess the arrangement itself was kind of like, I don't know, not the best in my opinion. Something about it, I guess it's a little repetitive as well, something a lot of Ishimoto's tracks kind of suffer from. But I do like some of the later sections. Meanwhile, the Eye of Darkness, I never liked how slow it is for a final boss theme. But listening to it like then side by side, you can obviously tell how much fuller the Eye of Darkness is as an arrangement. Like it's so well managed, and I think it's gonna take the win for me.
I don't know if I'd call it fuller, but I think it's maybe better mixed.
Yeah.
I think it also has fewer instruments going on. It's like two.
Yeah, by fuller I mean better mixed. Like everything sounds like it falls into place. While Pirates Freedom kind of has a lot of stuff going on.
I think the Eye of Darkness is really neat. It's a neat version of Dive into the Heart. And the off-kilter rhythmic patterns are like an interesting first for the series, because this is the first time, like, I guess it's all 4/4, but Sekito like plays with syncopation in a fun way, so it's neat. But Pirates Freedom is, I think, one of the few Ishimoto tracks that I think does relatively well, but everything you've said is right. It's repetitive, and the instrument balance is bad, and the VST violin is the if literally just like the one change, if you had a live violinist, I bet you this would be awesome. I bet you this would be an awesome track that I'd love. I also feel the same about Heroes Garage. Like the cool acoustic guitar accompaniment is like that's cool. That's what I want to hear more of in the series. And like you hear some of that in like Howley Howley from Birth by Sleep from Shimomura, but like I don't know. I give this one Ishimoto's first win here.
Oh wow, really?
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I'll
Pirates
give. I
Freedom
mean,
is
I'll
the
give you
one.
that. And one thing I do like.
I like the acoustics here as well. I didn't say that, but the acoustic guitar is fun.
But yeah, one thing I do like about Pirates Freedom is that it has this thing where Ishimoto finally learned what motifs are for his own songs. So
Yeah.
in a lot of the
he used
pirate
motif.
yeah, he uses the dun 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 dun, but he does like
Yeah.
a little variation of it, and right before the loop, which is interesting because you only get to hear it at the very end of the song, and it's pretty satisfying. Except it isn't because the loop sucks, but everything up to that is pretty good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Pirates Freedom wins. Damn, didn't expect
That
that.
is surprising.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's try speeding these up a little bit, or else this episode's gonna be
Well,
5 hours long.
Thankfully, this is kind of a blowout coming up. I mean, it's Roxas, so
Yeah.
let's just move on, right? Like, what are we even gonna say about
I mean,
It's a New Record, which is a track name that could fit in literally any video game. There's nothing going on.
I can't
there.
even
All
remember.
these are just move. Well, actually,
It's a
there's
New
not-
Record doesn't even have a
There's
melody.
that.
Don't even
Yeah.
at me, David
Yeah,
The
Russell.
syncopation and the rhythmic.
Roxas is the winner.
Yeah.
Roxas is the winner. It's a melody that's lived rent free in my head for 10 years. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
it's so
Yeah.
good. Now we have two
Meanwhile,
titans
Fresh
here.
fruits balls.
Fresh
Dark
fruit
domination.
balls.
Let's
This
get
is
Domination.
a funny matchup. Like, hello, we have the final boss
Yeah.
theme, one of the most controversial tracks in the entire franchise, and then actually the most controversial, I would dare to say. And then we have Fresh Fruits Balls. Hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
and obviously,
So what do you pick?
obviously, Dark Domination is
Dark
gonna.
domination.
No
Oh, man.
question
Pat,
asked.
Pat, give me your thoughts.
Listen,
freaking-
like I don't hate. I know you guys hate this song. I like the implementation of the choir here. I feel like when it's a final boss, you've got to pass there. You know, I feel like if you have a choir in you know, Darkness of the Unknown or Guardando nel Buio, you don't hate it there. I think if they find a way to work that in smoothly, you know, I don't necessarily think you need a super thematic reason for it. It's just like, hey, it's a final boss fight in a fucking JRPG action adventure game, whatever. I went with Dark Domination mostly because, like, the mini game tracks, you know, Victor's Pride of It All aside, don't tend to stick in my memory that much. Maybe because I'm just not playing the mini games that much, but I think it serves its purpose. I think it's, you know, an above replacement level. I'm not gonna say it's a great. I'd rather listen to, you know, the final boss tracks from 1 or 2. But I think Dark Domination's okay. It's gonna get the W from me here.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Sound Ideas. Just give me a second. I'm gonna go to Pat's house real quick and kick his ass.
Just move me. Yeah.
We'll see you next
see you
time.
there.
You know,
Yeah.
let's boot it. Let's kick in the intro here, the outro.
Listen,
Goodbye.
it's fucking Fresh Fruits Balls. Like, I don't even know how it goes. Like, I listened to
What
it
are
and I
you
forgot.
talking about? Let me put it on the bot. This is very important to me.
I would rather listen to Fresh Fruits Balls as a final boss theme for Master Xehanort
It's-
than Dark Domination, and that's saying something.
Dude, no, it's not even that. It's not even just like a passably good track. This is one of the best tracks Sekito's ever made. This and Majestic Wings and The Little Chef
I don't agree, honestly.
are some of the best tracks Sekito's ever made. I love the forward momentum in Fresh Fruit. Like, there's so much good stuff about Fresh Fruit Balls.
It's great. Now that I'm hearing it, it's good.
It's fine.
Right? But
Awesome
I don't
harmonies,
care about
awesome
it.
instrumentation.
I don't
Listen to the
care.
climax when it comes
Yeah.
on the bot, but we'll not wait. But like,
I'm using too much context here. Like, you know, I'm really associating the context with the track, and I'm trying not to do that. But like, you know, also this could be a gummy ship route. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing about it is inherently what you guys saying. Yeah, as if that's a good thing.
No,
That's a good
I
feeling.
agree. I agree with you.
Is it though?
yeah, because later on
I
I'm gonna
feel
give
like you could just,
Sekito
you
the
could just shoot. You just throw this into a gummy ship route, and it's like, okay, you wouldn't really notice the difference. I feel like, you know,
Yeah,
the
I
more
also
unique something
I
sounds.
also feel like this track can just be used for anything. Like, I feel like it could honestly just play in a random Disney Town cutscene or like any Disney World cutscene in Birth by Sleep, and I wouldn't really notice.
It could be a battle theme for
It
a
lacks
ton
identity
of, like,
for you?
colorful, bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lacks identity. There you go, David.
Like, if I heard
Yes.
this, I would never be able to tell that that it plays in the Fruit Ball game.
Dude, this is
A game where you hit fruit over
fruitball volleyball game.
Yeah, but
To
who the
me,
fuck
this
plays
is
Fruit
the
Ball?
clear winner over Ishimoto.
Who the fuck?
I don't care. It's a
Who-
good track.
Who the fuck
Fair enough,
keeps
fair
their
enough.
volume on when they're playing football? That
Play
one
this
time
for
and not the
Final
story?
Xehanort.
I will. This is the replacement for.
Let's
Dark
release an
Domination.
edit where we
Do a
have
mod
fresh
of
fruits
Cage
balls.
thing.
Well,
Why is it Fresh Fruits Balls? Is that really the track name?
Yeah.
yes.
Fresh Fruits Balls?
Fruits balls. I think it's a translation
It's
error.
because
should
it's
lose just
several
for that.
fruits, obviously.
I don't-
Anyway,
what is? Let me just
You hateful men.
just for a
Hateful men.
second. Let me talk about Dark Domination. Do you know what's up with all the key changes?
well, I
'Cause
don't.
There's nothing. It's just like 30 tracks. Again, like with the sectionalization, I think he just took Shimomura's MIDI and put it in his project and chose the instruments for it. Like, it's.
I know
bad.
I voted for it, but like, why was he allowed to be in charge of this?
It was.
Does
I
anyone
think
know?
it was a Nomura decision.
Probably.
Really?
Or-
what's
Yeah.
wrong with him?
Well, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get
Like,
into
I know
that.
it'd be better if one of the
Yeah.
other two did it, but
God, I
Dude,
can't wait.
just play Black Powder. There's so much. There's so much that could have been there.
No.
Dearly beloved.
Jeez, I don't even know. Because I
The
would
study
hate
dramatic
Black.
version.
I would hate to hear Black Powder again just for this, but also
I would too, but it's better than Dark Domination.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
Anyway,
wouldn't
yeah.
know
Right,
how.
fresh
Like,
fruits
I would think
balls.
like, what could possibly be worse than this? And then, Dark Domination, you know. But I guess we did get the worst possible outcome, so that's something.
Cool. So let's move on. Now that Dark Domination has been utterly destroyed.
Next up, we got
the Flick finalist from Dream Drop versus, how do you say this? Howley,
Happy.
which is Happy Happy. From Birth by Sleep, it's the field theme for Deep Space. For the Flick finalists, I've never heard the song in my life. Not even once. I think I got like 30 seconds through it for this project.
God, what does it even sound
It's fine. I went with the Birth by Sleep, field theme for Deep Space here. Very pleasant. Not super indicative of like a spaceship, I don't think. I think contextually it's used kind of strangely. I think it is like a spacey sounding track, but like for like the interior of a spaceship, it doesn't do a whole lot for me in terms of like how it's used. But as a track, I think I'd rather listen to it than this.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
song that I've never heard once.
Howley
So-
Howley is one you put on for like 4 hours and work on something
Yeah.
else. Like, it's a good mood track.
For sure.
I know what I said at the beginning, where like the moody tracks kind of don't have as much of an edge, but now we're like fighting an Ishimoto track here. So, I mean, to be fair to Ishimoto, it's got like Flick Finalist has like a good counterpuntal balance. I think the little like understrings thing going is cool. But God, it's so repetitive. This goes on
Yeah.
for 3 minutes. This one part, like,
What?
damn.
It's so, and I hate this.
Jesus.
That's just an Ishimotoism where he just sits on the 7th of the scale forever. Anyway, yeah, Howley Howley is the clear winner for me. It's
Yeah.
just also a compositional balance thing. Like Howley Howley it sounds auditorily nice. Like, it doesn't hurt my ears. like the
Yeah,
Flick Finalist does.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
say anything. Holly is the winner. Next up, we have
AR Augmented Rhythm
Oh,
from
I
Cage
got
3
fun stuff to say about
versus
this.
Gigabyte, which is an Ishimoto track,
Yeah.
AR, and then Gigabyte Mantis is a Sekiro track
Right.
from Dream Drop when you fight Camantis
Yes.
in the grid. Is
That's
that
it.
right? Well, I just said AR Augmented Rhythm is forgettable synth background noise. And then Gigabyte Mantis I wrote, I've just been hearing you guys talk about this song for the past 2 months, so I'm just taking your word on it that it's good. And I do like it more. I
What do
mean,
you think?
on my own, I like it more than
Yeah.
Augmented Rhythm. Again, like,
I was gonna say, can you imagine the AR track in Cage 3 playing Gigabyte Mantis instead? Because that's what I wrote. Like, this is just a better version of AR Augmented Rhythm in every possible facet.
You're right.
The beat is better, the instrumentation is better, there's no repetitiveness, and it's like cool textures ebb and flow throughout the track. The structure's really good. Sekito's just got it on lockdown.
Yeah. Gigabyte Mantis just makes me
I don't
wish
know.
Sekito did the grid music for DDD instead of Ishimoto, because he clearly does the electronic thing a lot better than Ishimoto does, and
Yeah,
it's just
I
so,
think so, too.
cool. I loved it.
Listen to this. Listen to how cool this is.
It's so good.
This is also a pretty good, like, gummy battle track if you were to put it in, like, I don't know, he just does gummy
Yeah.
stuff, I think, well.
All right,
Cool.
Let's go to this next one. Critical Drive versus Wonder of Electron. This is a cool matchup because they're very different, like, kinds of songs. And honestly, I had a very hard time picking. I don't even remember what I
I
wrote.
did too, actually.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, I had no memory of Wonder of Electron until I, played it Melody in Memory. I ended up really liking it alongside No More Bugs. I would, if I heard this without knowing, like, what game it, like, I would not know this was a Kingdom Hearts song, Wonder of Electron. It just, I don't know, there's something about it that's very, I mean, maybe it's just because it's based off of, like, the technological, like, data aesthetic, which is not something that you see a whole lot in Kingdom Hearts outside of, like, you know, Space Paranoids or the Grid. But it doesn't ring as, like, a Kingdom Hearts track to me. But, and I wanted to pick it. I went with Critical Drive, even though it's, you know, probably not as good as the KH2 version of the Critical Drive. Is that like just in the Syax boss fight, or is that?
Yeah, that's it.
It plays for Syax, and it also plays in the last mission, like when you're playing as dual wield Roxas, killing all the Neo Shadows,
destroying.
Ah, it's so cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather listen to the KH2. What is it, Sacred Moon?
The Deep Drive.
Deep Drive. Oh yeah, Sacred Moon is the field. Yeah, I mean, I ended up going with Critical Drive here, but I won't be mad if Wonder of Electron's the winner. I like both of them. This was actually kind of a hard one.
This was a hard one. Honestly, I picked Critical Drive as well. I guess because I really like, even though the KH2 version is like clearly better, Critical Drive was the first one I heard because Days was my first Kingdom Hearts game, and like just thinking about the Sykes fight. And like this was such a cool moment when it like this track starts playing and you're fucking kicking Sykes' ass, and then it plays again, and like probably one of the most iconic moments of Days that gets very overlooked, which is when Roxas dual wields for the first time. It's such a cool scene, and I'm really mad that they never like redid it for the movie, because it's like when he gets the two Kingdom keys and then he like crosses them over his head, and they turn into Oblivion and Oathkeeper. Ah, it's such a cool cinematic moment. It's such an awesome, like, and the track playing makes it all the way better. And it's just generally a very hype track, very well done.
Give it to Critical Drive as well. It's like a shame because Wonder of Electron could like knock out so many of these other tracks, but two more heavyweights. I don't know. Critical Drive is just
honestly,
cool.
if this
got so much potential.
If this were Critical Drive versus No More Bugs, I would not know how to choose. Like, I feel like that would be a harder one.
Ooh, yeah, that would be even harder, yeah, because I really do like No More Bugs. I think I'd actually go with No More Bugs there.
Yeah.
Wonder of Electron, just there's not enough going on there for me.
Yeah. Access the Grid versus the Star Fortress.
So we can kind of yada this, right? Like, I hate the Grid. I wrote all things the Grid can eat my ass. And then Star Fortress, you know. I'm glad that like the Gummy songs from 2 and 3 are not like all based on the same, please correct me if I'm wielding this word incorrectly, motif. Is that right? Or
you're right.
Like Blast Away is like all you hear in one, which I love me some KH1, but like I get sick of that. I don't think it's that interesting of something to come back to all the time, whereas like the Star Fortress and KH3, which is that the like final area
yes.
in KH3? Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the more memorable Gummy songs in a series, I would say. Outside of, like, the Blast Away ones are memorable, but they are a little bit grating eventually. So I ended up, I mean, nothing's gonna, you know, lose against Access the Grid for me. So it's kind of a blowout on my end. But
yeah.
If you want to defend the just sonic noise garble that is Access the Grid, then go ahead. I'd love to get a lecture in music theory.
What do you think, you know?
Easy win for the Star Fortress. Let's go.
Yeah. Alright, Star Fortress wins. There's nothing going on in Access the Grid.
Yeah.
I mean, but I will say to you, Pat, like, Blast Away Gummy Ship 3 is one of my favorite Gummy themes, I think, in the series.
That's my favorite one out of the 3. Yeah, no, Blast Away 3 is really fun.
Yeah.
Because it's such a dark reprise of the first one. So, yeah. The percussion, I think.
I think if it were between Star Fortress and Blast Away 3, I'd pick Blast Away 3, but yeah,
I probably would too, just because it's like they're both very, you know, kind of epic, momentous sounding tracks for like the final gauntlet of Gummy Ship stuff in the games. But yeah, Blast Away 3 is more memorable for sure. Now we're doing hypothetical brackets.
Ready to Rush versus Monstropolis now.
Oh, this is a cool
I've also never heard Ready to Rush. It sounds like a Pokemon song in a way, like maybe something that plays when you're like in a Pokemon gym.
Yeah.
I went with Monstropolis now. I like the part in Monstropolis now. I don't know if you would call it like the drop, or like when the cymbals crash and it kind of picks up a little bit. I also know, I don't know if I'd be able to tell it was from like a Monsters Inc. world if I didn't know the title. It's still fitting, but like it doesn't scream like a Monsters Inc. in the way that like, oh, I could hear, you know, the Arendelle field theme. I mean, I'm still going with it. I'm still going with Monstropolis now because, again, Ready to Rush is a foreign track to me. So
I'll say this about Monstropolis now. I kind of wish that they took a completely different approach to it and made it like jazzy, like because they clearly knew that that was the entire mood of Monsters Inc. Because the moment you step into this world, the cutscene music is clearly very jazzy, and like they know and we know, but for some reason they went in a completely different direction with the actual music for the feud and the battles. But it's actually really good, even if it doesn't really fit proper. Like even if it's not like what we would imagine it would be a Monsters Inc. world, I still think it like works really well somehow. I don't know, and it's just a very cool track to listen to. Meanwhile, Ready to Rush is just boring, and I've listened to it 1,000 times, and I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, it's just repetitive. It sounds like a Pokemon or Zelda track. To me, Monstropolis now is so like it screams Pixar. I don't know what it is.
It does.
I think it's all the Pixar, but not
those...
specifically Monsters Inc.
I think that's a good point.
Like,
yeah.
Where's the jazz? You know, because I was thinking when you said that, I didn't even think of it, but like, yeah, that movie is like I guess Soul is like the new Pixar jazz movie, but like before that it was Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like any kind of Monsters Inc. video game? Like I had like a PC Monsters Inc. game with all like a bunch of different mini games, and like the menu for that was like this really like cool jazzy arrangement, and they could have done something like that for the field team here. Again, we're splitting hairs here because I think we're all going with Monstropolis now, but it could have been something better, I think. But I do like it.
Oh man.
I mean, I think it gets easier from here because we're gonna after this we're gonna talk about each track. Yeah.
So now we got Go Go Rumble Racer
please.
versus Eternal Moments, and this is an interesting one because Eternal Moments was one of the tracks that Pat picked for some goddamn reason that I'm not gonna.
I guess it's gonna lose.
I'm not gonna question.
I picked it because it plays in my favorite scene in the entire series, which is called Memorized in Birth by Sleep, when Ven meets Lee and Isa for the first time. Listen, I know it's just like, oh, it's at dusk, but like worse. But I prefer it to generic minigame track number fucking 57 on this bracket. And I wrote, it reminds me of Final Fantasy X, smiley face. Please pick it, please. I like it a lot. Pretty please.
That's actually literally my point. Although the melody is Shimomura's, this version was arranged by Ishimoto. But the strength of the melody is what carries the track over Rumble Racer for me. Rumble Racer is just kind of a pop.
Yes.
Pop
oh
gem.
wow,
you,
that's surprising. I actually picked Go Go Rumble Racer because I love At Dusk. It's just such a dear track to me. But Eternal Moments kind of butchered it, in my opinion. Like it's like obviously you can still tell it's At Dusk.
I think you're right.
It's
I agree with that too.
It makes me feel like, oh man, why didn't they just use At Dusk, you know? Like, why not? Why didn't they? I mean, I get why, to an extent, but like, I don't know. Meanwhile, Go Go Rumble Racer is actually unironically a bop. Like, it's very good. It's so bouncy. I love Sekito's bounciness. Oh, God, it's so cool.
I do want to say about the Rumble Racer song is like I feel like this does have more of an identity than like the Fruit Ball song where it's like this you can't throw into like a gummy ship or like I don't think this works. Like this is inherently a like kart racing song. I don't think this works for like a Fruit Ball mini game or like really anything else in Birth by Sleep. I think it's got to be here. I think it does what it is setting out to do, but it is kind of it gets lost on the shelf for me. And also like fuck Rumble Racing. I hate that game.
Eternal Moments is taking the bracket, baby.
It's like one of my least favorite mini games versus one of my favorite scenes.
This is so exciting. So we have like a lot of upsets. I'm pumped to talk about it.
So for round 2, baby, we got Face It versus Organization 13 opening the match.
Oh, that's obviously
right,
Organization
please,
13.
Well,
okay,
yeah.
all right, thank you. Like, let's get rid of this annoying little
13.
bastard of a track.
Wow, okay. Well, the next one's a little more interesting, Pat, especially because you said you were gonna vouch for both of these, and I want to know what you're gonna pick. So now we have Very Small Wish versus Merlin's Magical House. I feel like this is a little bit harder.
There's no way. No, there's no way. Okay, are you gonna let Very Small Wish beat Vector to the Heavens and then let Very Small Wish, which beat your beloved track, get beat by fucking Merlin's Magical House? There's no way. If you let this happen, that means that Merlin's Magical House beat Vector to the Heavens.
I don't know, David.
Even
what
in
do you
my
think?
brain doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Don't fucking
you
do
know,
this.
I just
Don't do this. Don't do this. Not like this. Not like this. Listen, this is fine, okay? It's perfectly serviceable. But it has no room. It has no place.
Oh my god.
Going any higher than this. I'm sorry. This is a round 2 knockout. It was built to die in round 2.
I kind of
It's
want
a
to pick
blessing
Merlin's
that it
Magical
it's
House
fine.
just out of spite, like just to fuck with
No,
that.
don't spite me. Don't do this.
If I have to go with my heart, I'm gonna pick a Very Small Wish. It's
Thank you, David.
it's a good
Thank
song.
you.
I'm
Damn
sorry.
it. Well, I guess I'm picking a Very Small
The bit
Wish.
was fun.
If you
The bit was fun for
if
a
you
while.
if you picked Merlin's Magical House, I would absolutely
That
do
would have
it
been so
just for
funny.
the bit.
This is not a bit channel. This is a serious music channel.
Okay, next one is Victor's Pride versus the Little Chaff. And
Oh, obviously.
obviously,
Little Chef.
the red wins. The red wins. I'm typing the red
The
ones.
rat wins again.
Oh, this next one's more interesting. We got Fantastic Fight versus A Pirate's Freedom. Two Ishimoto tracks pitting
Oh
against each other.
god. I need to listen to Fantastic Fight real quick again.
I'm going with Pirates Freedom.
I'm happy to go with Pirates Freedom because
Oh.
it's like it's so unique, you know. It's like the only
Don't do
track in
this to
K3
me.
that
I'm picking Fantastic
Again,
Fight.
Fantastic Fight. It's just like it's just a San Francisco
No.
song that plays in
yeah.
other world.
It's
Like,
a
that's all I
middling
can hear.
it's a middling
It's
synth,
middling.
synth nothing track.
Yeah, it's not. I would say it's above replacement level, especially for Shimoda. But I'm going with Pirates Freedom.
Easily, Gigabyte Mantis does everything this track does, but better.
No, you're thinking about fucking Access the Grid. Come on, David. Bear with me here.
No, this is Pirates Freedom.
Oh.
If this were like Heroes Gathering for Heroes Garage, I'd pick that one. But
Damn. You guys suck. Anyway, Pirates Freedom.
We're spoilers. We're here to spoil.
there's so much potential in Pirates Freedom.
I guess. It has potential. Like, it's a good track. I just
Yeah.
think this...
Yeah.
I just think Fantastic Fight is more fun. Next up, we have Roxas versus Fresh Fruits Balls.
All right, let's give that to Roxas, right?
No,
Are you
Fresh Fruits
Stop
Balls. Fresh Fruits
Stop
Balls is the winner
Stop
for
it,
me.
you insane man.
You gotta choose. And I know Keen's gonna pick Roxas, so it'll be fine. But Fresh Fruit Balls is so. I love it.
This is a very hard one to pick. On my actual spreadsheet,
No, it's
I put... Or, in my actual bracket, I did put Roxas. But it was a hard decision. Because, honestly, like, Roxas is just a lot more iconic. And,
Yeah,
well,
that makes
memorable.
sense.
But Fresh Fruits Balls is like an okay track. But when I really think about it, there's just no way like Roxas is just taking the win here. Like, I can't
Another
do
crisis
this. Can't do
averted.
this for my boy.
I'm here to cause chaos.
Next
What's
up we
next?
have Hawoli versus Gigabyte Mentis, baby.
Oh, Gigabyte Mantis for sure. 1000%.
Yeah, I'm also going with Gigabyte Mantis. Yeah.
Mentis wins again. Fatality.
Fatality.
Oh, this is a spicy one. We got Critical Drive versus the Star Fortress.
Star
I'm gonna go
Fortress.
with Critical Drive.
Oh man, I'm the
Breaking
tiebreaker.
the tie.
Well, I'm going with Critical Drive.
Oh man. Oh, what is this?
Rat.
Shoot.
And then our last round 2 match, Monstropolis now versus Eternal Moments.
Yes.
Which I think that's as far as Eternal Moments is gonna go, right?
Yeah, I'm
alright,
sorry.
I'll just
In my
concede.
hypothetical bracket, I had Monstropolis now winning the whole thing, but I see it's
Wow.
not going that way.
We'll see.
I mean, it's gonna win this round, right? I mean, I can't. I don't think I can really even argue Eternal Moments over Monstropolis now because I don't even know if I believe in that. So
Well, that's round 2 done. All right, let's zoom into round 3. First off, we have Organization 13 versus Very Small Wish.
Oh man, what do you do? What do you do?
I'm going back to my argument about like which one do I want to listen to more times, and it's gonna be a Very Small Wish.
God.
And now that I'm not an angsty 6th grader anymore, I don't need Organization 13. It got me through that part of my life where I needed it. Now I just need a very small wish until, like, from now until I'm in the grave. You know, this is my track for the rest of my life. This is all I need.
This is just hard.
So.
I don't know because
Listen, I'm not gonna hate you guys if you go with Organization 13. I just needed it to get up here.
That's okay. I've already made my case for Fresh Fruit Balls and why it's the best track in Kingdom Hearts.
I bet that's what you put as the winner in the end.
No, no. I'm gonna give it to a very small wish.
Shit.
Yes.
Well, I don't even have a choice. I guess we're going with a very
Nope.
small wish.
Now imagine if that had played for all the Organization where nothing gathers. Very small. What are you doing, Solden?
Dude, at this point, a very small wish is gonna win the entire thing.
I'm so excited. This is very fun.
Next up, we have the Little Chef versus A Pirate's Freedom.
Oh, clearly, a Little Chef.
I'm still going with Pirates Freedom. I don't know why I'm simping for this track so hard.
Neither
but
do
I'm just
I.
gonna go for it knowing that it's gonna lose.
God, chill, Pat. Jeez.
The red goes to the finals.
Whatever. You know what? I have a weird vendetta against rats.
Roxas versus
Alright.
Gigabyte Mantis. Oof.
Why don't you guys talk first? I don't want to reveal my hand.
What was Roxas against last round?
He won against
Roxas was against
Fresh Fruit Balls.
fresh fruits balls.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I'm gonna give it to Gigabyte Mantis. I'm saying it like you know.
Oh, I don't have a choice, I guess. Sorry, viewers. I wanted to pick Roxas, but they didn't let me.
Yeah. No, you wanted to pick
So.
Gigabyte Mantis.
Alright, next up we have
And then last around
Critical Drive versus Monstropolis Now.
Yeah, Monstropolis now. Let's get it.
This is a hard one.
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah, why don't you go again, Keynote? I like being the kingmaker.
Well,
Or just finding out that I have no say in it because you picked the same thing as David.
God, I don't.
Make him choose. Choose the other one. Choose your beloved nostalgia track.
Honestly, I think Critical Drive wins. Like, it's just more iconic.
That's fair. They're both good.
You know what? I am gonna go with Critical Drive, actually.
Wow.
You know,
Damn.
now we have a little bit of variety in the top.
Alright, now things start getting interesting. We have a very
Dude,
small
if this
wish.
is the case, I'm gonna make Little Chef
Don't
win
do it.
everything.
No.
A very small wish versus the Little Chef.
Little Chef.
No way. No way.
Actually, I have to listen.
Pat.
To it. I need to now think about it for a minute. Either way, Pat wins.
Pat picking a very small wish.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna have to give this one to very small wish.
Yeah,
Sweet.
baby. It's all coming together.
Damn,
think-
I think it's gonna win.
I think, yeah, it'd be a very small wish for me, cause friggin' Little Chef is so good, but there's just so much more in Very Small Wish. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Okay, now we got
Alright, so what are we picking to lose to my baby boy?
Gigabyte
Pick your
Mantis
loser.
versus Critical Drive.
Dude, what is this? Like, the whole left side of the graph is like, just like huge heavy hitter like battle tracks, and then you got Very Small
That's
Wish
right.
and Little Chef.
It's lovely.
Well-
So you said Gigabyte Mantis versus what?
Critical
Critical
Star
Drive.
Fortress. Oh, Gigabyte Mantis. Sorry, Critical Drive.
This is a hard one. What do I pick?
You pick Gigabyte Mantis. Give me a win for once.
You know what? I'm going with Critical Drive, so it's up to Keynote.
What is happening? Dude, how can you pick Critical Drive over like Deep Drive? Like when you know that
I'm
there's a
not picking-
previous.
that's not what I'm voting
Deep
on,
Drive
David.
isn't
That's
in
not
the
what I'm
freaking bracket, so we're doing Critical
I
Drive.
know. It's the same song though. God.
I'm just imagining that it's better.
A worse
that it's
version of
Deep
the
Drive.
same song.
I agree. I'd rather listen to Deep Drive, but that's not here. And I'm taking Walmart version of Deep Drive. Great value brand Deep Drive.
You know
it's
what?
Great value for what
You
you
know,
get.
fair. Whatever.
Mom, I want Deep Drive.
Gigabyte
We have
Mantis
we have
is
Deep
so
Drive at
good.
home.
Gigabyte Mantis is good. The Deep Drive we have at home. Critical Drive.
I'm picking Critical Drive because I
Oh God.
I
what is
care about it.
happening?
I care about it more than I care about Gigabyte Mantis.
What is
And
happening?
it all comes down
boy.
to this.
This is
folks.
the big one. These are
Oh.
the finals.
Is this the finals?
Yep, the finals.
Oof.
We have Very Small Wish against Critical Drive.
This is Critical Drive.
Damn.
Present this
How
to
does it
literally
feel?
anyone else in the fandom, and see if and watch them like be like, oh yeah, Critical Drive, no question. I'm gonna go with Very Small Wish because I think it's better.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
So am I.
I know Very Small
This
Wish.
is
Yes.
This is very funny.
And honestly,
This is not what I had
We
in my
did
own
it.
bracket winning,
Yeah.
but between those two, it's gotta be.
I'm inclined to agree. It's gonna be a Very Small Wish.
Is it a 3? Triple knockout?
Yep.
That's right.
Oh
it's
my
a triple.
god. A Very
I
Small
planned
Wish
for
is the
every
best track.
eventuality. This is the whole reason I came here today, folks. I placed this song in the bracket as a sleeper
I
agent,
hate this. I
and
hate
it won.
this.
A Very Small Wish
It
wins
destroyed.
the game,
Where's the
baby.
respect
I
for
can't believe-
Monstropolis now? What did you have winning?
I
Keenan?
can't believe its most fearsome competitor was Merlin's Magical
I
House.
think I had Vector winning, obviously, because
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Knocked out in the first round.
dude, it's
Oh
just
my God.
completely
That was fun.
obliterating everything. But I guess it got replaced by A Very Small Wish to the very end.
You better be playing right now in post. You better be playing it right now.
Yeah.
This is the funniest.
Yes.
We're gonna have the
Stupid
champs.
freaking.
God,
Oh,
Oof.
guys, this was fun.
this was.
I know
fun.
we probably pissed off a lot of people, but at least we did it together
God.
as a family.
I
As a
really
prismatic
wanna.
melody
If
fan.
you,
really
if
wanna-
you want to
wanna-
cancel us, cancel all 3 of us.
I want to watch the
Oh,
chat
no.
just go insane over every single one of our picks.
I'm gonna be right there in chat watching. It's
Yeah,
gonna- it's
same.
gonna be really
God,
funny
it's
to
gonna
see.
be fun. I
That
I
David
wish,
guy is an absolute idiot. What is he doing? Choosing
wish we
a
did,
little chef for all these.
God, I really wish this was
I
like,
just
a
like it.
live thing, but unfortunately it could not be. But
If it was live, we would have been here for another 2 hours battling the chat.
God,
we would
yeah.
have had like
defending
arm
our
ourselves.
honor. This was so fun. Oh my God, I'm really
Yeah,
glad.
Very fun.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys joined me for this very neat episode.
It was very fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm glad that I got to, have my non-musical opinions just slaughter this bracket and just like force my will to the top. It's a regular Pat way. What can I say?
Bulldoze your way. Push
I'm-
the Very Small Wish to the top.
I will pretend
That's
I do
right.
not see it, and I will pretend Vector the Heavens won that first one and made it all the way to the
Sure.
finals.
Don't hide your eyes from the
Sure.
truth, Keenan.
In my heart, I know who wins. Anyway, I think I need. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do this, but I need to direct the audience to the next March Caprice thing. So I guess I'll link that in the chat, while I guess the live chat or something, right? This part. And thank everyone for watching, baby.
We did it, guys. We did it.
Victor's
We fixed the fandom.